Hello, I'm IBX Toycat, and today I'm going to be showing you the 10 most common blocks in Minecraft for Xbox and Minecraft for PlayStation. This might seem like a really strange idea for a video, but basically, a couple of months ago, I uploaded a video showing the top 5 rarest blocks in survival. A lot of people were mind blown and really enjoyed that video, and I saw a lot of guesses at what the most common block was, and very, very few were correct. And I figured it's one of those fun trivia things that might make a good video, so I decided to compile a list of the 10 most common blocks in survival on Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation with an average world. So obviously each world has a different composition of biomes. Some will have more deserts, some will have more, mushroom biome and stuff. But basically this is an average world I'm going to be talking about. So please do like the video if you like it. It helps out the channel a lot, and it, shows that you liked it. And it's a good way to say thank you for all the extra work I had to put into this video to test all of this stuff, because obviously we can't use MC Edit on the consoles. But with that said, let's get straight into the video with the 10th most common block in Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation. And you can probably work it out by the block that's covering my screen right now. It is the sand block. So why is the sand block so common? Why is it more rare than some of the other blocks? So basically, sand spawns a lot in deserts. When there is a desert, there's like 4 blocks of sand all the way down till you find something, even 5 blocks in some places. And it means there's a lot of sand in one place. It means a single desert can contain tens of thousands of blocks of sand, sometimes even hundreds of thousands if it's a big enough desert, and it means you find a lot of sand. But besides these big deserts, there's very few places you can find sand. So you'll find them sometimes below oceans and stuff. You'll find them like at beaches and stuff, but you rarely find that much sand. It's usually a lot of dirt, a lot of clay, a lot of all that stuff. And it means that sand, although it is very common when you do find it, it's not common in the grand scheme of things. You usually only have like 1 or 2 deserts per world, and as you can see from this map, like, it's not that big compared to everything else. So, although sand is very common, it's not the most common by 9 whole slots. Speaking of which, spot number 9. This is one that might surprise you, given how close the two are together, but number 9 is actually lava, and you might immediately say to me, wait a minute, Toycat, I can see right now how much more sand there is than lava on screen. I think you did something wrong here. But in reality, there is a little bit more lava than there is sand in the world. The reason for this is that lava spawns in a lot of places. In addition to these massive above-ground lava pits that you see from time to time, you'll also find them below ground in massive, massive lava pits with like hundreds and hundreds each, and, next to diamonds and stuff in caves. And then in addition to both of those things, they'll spawn on the side of mountains sometimes, they'll spawn in mine shafts, and even though there's only like 100, 200, 300 lava here, because there's so many lava pits, even though they're fewer and further between, you see a lot more lava than you see, desert, which might seem really strange, but it's true. So let me just quickly show you down the ravine that I started the episode in. You'll see just over here, there's some lava there. That's quite a bit of lava, even though it's one bit of source lava, there's a lot of lava coming out of it. So that's what I mean by there's a lot of lava in the world. So let's move on to block number 8, shall we? And this is one that might surprise a lot of people. It surprised me that it was so high up too. That is the iron ore block. So the iron ore block is roughly 0.7% of all blocks found, below, stone level. So it means if you go and you find, you mine 1,000 blocks below ground, about 70 of those will be iron ore, which is kind of cool. The reason that you don't think that it's so common is because, of course, you use it for iron tools and stuff. You rarely just make blocks out of it, and even if you do, you have to make a block out of it, which takes 9 iron. So the iron ore block itself, even though iron isn't that common, like you look around this ravine, you only see like 5 or 6 chunks of it, it is still common enough to be the 8th most common block in Minecraft on the consoles, which is pretty cool if you ask me. So yeah, lots and lots of iron, a lot more iron than you might figure. It's all about trying to find it, I guess. So let's move on to block number 7, I guess. And this is one that kind of annoys me with the fact that it's number 7 on the list. Or number 7 on the list. Took me a second there. Because it's one of my least hated blocks, one of my most hated blocks, and you can probably guess what it is. It is the gravel block. So the gravel block is, of course, spawns in massive clumps above and below ground. And basically, all it offers you is the chance to have a 1 in 10 chance of getting flint every time you get it. It has an ugly texture, it's just not a very good block. I'm going to stop ranting about gravel, but it is, unfortunately, the 7th most common block in Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation, because it spawns in massive clumps, even more common than iron, like you can see down here. It's just a massive, massive clump, even if they're not that common, because, they're so big that even reasonably uncommon means that you'll see them a lot. They're a pain to go through, they're a pain to find, and they're the 7th most common block, but you are technically more likely to find iron than you are gravel, so hopefully that improves your spirits at least a little bit. I'm not sure it does mine, but let's move on to the 6th most common block, and if I told you it was another ore, you could probably guess what it was, because it is the coal ore. So coal ore is about 1% of every block below ground, Meaning that if you mine, for 1,000 blocks below ground, about 100 of those will be coal. It's very, very common because it spawns in massive, massive clusters, even though it's about as common as iron at the levels it spawns. Because it can spawn much higher than iron, and it spawns in much bigger chunks than iron, you see a lot more coal than you do iron. So, yeah, make it into coal blocks, make some pretty stuff. You see a lot of coal, and, there's 10 in this chunk. There's, probably quite a bit in this chunk. Even small veins of coal will have at least 4 or 5 bits of coal in it. So yeah, you find lots of coal in one place, and you also find it in pretty much any place that has stone. So that is coal, the most common ore in the game. And let's move on to block number 5. These are the ones that will start to be oh yeah, that's incredibly common. Because the 5th most common block in Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation is one I'm going to have to dig down for. Because it is the Bedrock Block. And this is one that I thought, no, that's got to be off. But because worlds are so big that, they're 5,000 by 5,000 on the one on PS4, it means that the bottom 2 layers of that are always going to be bedrock, and then on top of those bottom 2 layers, there's also sometimes a 3rd layer. So a lot of bedrock down here. Even though you can't take it with you, you can't make a bedrock building, except in creative, of course. Even though you can't do that, it is still very, very common, and it is still a block you will consider. Also in the Nether, there's a lot of bedrock too, but we won't consider that for now. I just thought that was a cool thing you might not have realised. The bedrock is the 5th most common block in Minecraft console, which is really, 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 really strange to me. But yeah, moving on to block number 4. Is it one you're going to guess? It's one I'm standing on right now. So the dirt block is actually the 4th most common block. So what is the reason for this? When sand was 10, but dirt is 4, even though they spawn in roughly the same quantities? So the reason is because most biomes, pretty much all biomes besides, deserts and stuff, will actually have dirt for the bottom few layers going down. So we have 3 layers of dirt below a swamp. We have the plains biome where there's a lot of dirt, of course. There's the forest biome, the jungle biome, the extreme hills. They all have dirt absolutely everywhere in them. And in addition to just this above ground dirt, you also see dirt below the ground in the form of big chunks. So for instance, down here you can see big old cluster of dirt, just to make it more varietatious down. Varietatious, if that's a word. Just make it give a bit more variety below ground. There's a lot of dirt down there. And in addition to that, it's all above ground. I can kind of understand why it is the 4th most common block in Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation. To move on to number 3. Also, that's not including the grass blocks, which are their own separate block technically. Moving on to the 3rd most common block. We're gonna swim in it now. That probably gives it away. It is the water block. So the water block, very, very common block. Why is it so common? Because even though it only covers about 30-40% of the Minecraft world, when you do get an ocean biome, also, look at that, that's crazy. When you do get an ocean biome, it goes about 10, sometimes even more blocks down. Look how much water there is in between this and me. And even though, it's only in reasonably, I guess compared to dirt, chunks, you see so much of it at once that it's just much more common than dirt, by at least quite a bit. There's 100, not 100, there's millions and millions and millions of blocks of water in the world, if you don't consider just the sources. Even if you do, there's still a lot. And yeah, they're also, in addition to being found in the oceans and, just in rivers and stuff, you also see them below ground in little water pools. So that is the 3rd most common block. So there's 2 blocks left, one of which I'm pretty sure everyone can guess, one of which is kind of almost a trick question. So the 2nd most common block, and what a lot of people consider to be the 1st most common block, is actually the stone block. So this shouldn't be a surprise to a lot of people. It's about 30% of all blocks in Minecraft, about 35% maybe, are actually stone blocks. As you can see here, you dig down anywhere, you find stone. It's almost impossible not to find stone. If you go out of your way not to find stone, it's going to be tricky, because in addition to digging down 4 blocks anywhere, if you just go to anything anything with mountains, anything with high grounds, you'll see stone just everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. It's kind of the default block for Minecraft. There's so much stone everywhere, and that's why it's the 2nd most common block. You find it so often, and that's what that's all about. So let's move on to block number 1. What's more common than the stone block, you might be wondering? And like I said, this is almost a trick question, but it is correct. This is a block in the game's code. The 1st most common block is actually the air block. So every block that doesn't have another block in it is considered an air block. So all in front of me, you can see these air blocks around me. This might sound like a strange joke, but it is actually correct. It's basically the block that exists till you place another block there. So this was air, now it's air again. Now it's not air, now it's air. And basically, yeah, it's just an invisible block that takes up 60% of the entire world, because you can imagine all of this is air and there's just nothing else anywhere nearby it. So air is the most common block in Minecraft, Xbox, and PlayStation. I'm not sure I like that answer myself, but it is the technically correct answer. Hopefully you enjoyed this little bit of trivia in this video today. If you did, please do like the video and let me know. It'd be very much appreciated. Share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. It's a good way to see all these videos on your homepage every day. Besides that, I hope you enjoy these trivia videos. Let me know if you do. If you want to, if you have a specific top 10 or something you want to see, let me know in the comments down below, because I really enjoy trying to work out all this stuff. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.